Alright. I figured I'd drop a video to hold over for numbers because I'm getting absolutely destroyed by numbers. I have so many fucking notes on that. So, I figured I'd talk about something that I hold pretty dear, right? We're back on Star Wars. And I really got fucked up because it was Disney. The Disney Star Wars is almost complete ass. But let's talk about the big elephant in the room. Prequel slander. Now, the way I started to view this is that the films themselves aren't the best. I think we can all admit that. I'm a diehard Star Wars fan. I adore the prequels, but they were themselves aren't the best movies. But the narrative within the prequels is honestly flat out peak. It's flat out peak. I don't know how else to describe this shit. But here's also another thing people don't realize. They say the prequels ruined the Jedi. That was the whole fucking point. That was the entire point of the prequels. Because, alright, the OG trilogy is the end of Star Wars, realistically. Sequels didn't happen. Sequels did not happen. Garbage. Sequels did not happen. The end of Star Wars. The prequels were to establish context for the OG. It's kind of like Christianity with the Old Testament. A lot of people don't like the Old Testament, but without the Old Testament, the New Testament couldn't exist. It's the same thing with the prequels. It's the exact same thing. Now let me get into the nitty-gritty of this. So, the prequels were designed to establish the rise and fall of Anakin Skywalker. And I thought it did a good job. I don't know why everyone's bitching. Like, there's a lot of hate concerning, like, oh, Darth Vader's a slave kid? Oh, he's a whiny brat? Oh, he's this emotional, arrogant, fucking young man in Revenge of the Sith, and he finally goes full-blown. But we see it. We see it. And because of the movie's fuck-ups, we have the Clone Wars. We have so much so much novelization. We have so much extra context for the, like, how cities actually pulled everything off, how the rule of two actually was established, how all, like, I think because the prequels weren't perceived good, we have so much more expanded lore just to justify how the movies themselves were actually played out. And there's just a couple things I wish personally happened in the movies. So, for example, I'm sorry. Dooku falling to the dark side, or at least Dooku should have been at least mentioned in the Phantom Menace, because he would have held such an important role in all the entire Star Wars saga. So let me actually elaborate on Dooku. So Dooku is Qui-Gon's master. So it goes Dooku, Qui-Gon, Obi-Wan, Anakin. Technically, at least in, like, because, you know, Obi-Wan's his brother. It's Obi-Wan as his brother. Qui-Gon would be his dad. And Dooku would be essentially his granddad, following the line. So, if he was at least established, or, like, he met Qui-Gon, or he, like, hit Qui-Gon up, he's like, hey, what's good, bro? It's been a long time. How have you been? Or something small. At least something small. Or we see, like, him in Sidious talk and him becoming his apprentice after, not his, like, apprentice, but, like, his, like, ally. Because after he left the Order, Sidious hit him up and he was like, yo, I understand completely what you're talking about. If you follow me, we can fix the galaxy. And so it was all within logic. It was all within logic because the Jedi were corrupt as fuck. They didn't actually help people. Oh, hey, Jasper. You want to move? Don't move, buddy. Come on. So, hey, buddy. At least Dooku should have been pre-established. This is why I don't do videos in the house, by the way. He pulls up. I just didn't want to do it because I didn't feel like going back outside. But anyway, oh, here's another thing that doesn't actually make sense. Mace Windu should be getting way more hate than he is supposed to. The only reason Mace Windu isn't hated is because he's played by the GOAT himself, Sam Jackson. Like, what can you do? He's Sam Jackson. He's supposed to be like... Alright. Mace Windu's a bum. Straight up. He's a fucking bum and a fraud. The sole, and I mean the sole reason he was able to beat Sidious is because he actually hard countered him. Complete hard counter. So how Mace Windu's fighting style works, it's called Vapad. So he draws on the light and the dark. So the more powerful his enemy is in the dark side, he will overall become more powerful. So Sidious, being the strongest Sith in history, hard countered himself when he fought Mace Windu. And that's genuinely it. If it was like actual skill, Sidious had him dead to rights. But the fact that actually the more Mace fought him, the stronger he was getting, it was like kind of like Maharaga in a sense from Jujutsu Kaisen. It's kind of like Maharaga in a sense, but for dark side users. And then he would actually go even with Yoda later. And also, here's another thing. Palpatine himself had the groundwork laid out for him. He had 1,000 years of groundwork laid out for him. Plagueis literally set him up for success. So great, he barely had to do anything by the time, like, the prequels came up. He was like, oh, hey, God. Like, literally, he, like, before, that actually, this is actually why the prequels don't make any sense. Because there's actually almost no context. The prequels themselves don't make any sense. But if you read the Darth Plagueis novel, Plagueis literally laid the groundwork for everything in the prequels. And he died I'm fairly confident the same day the Maul got cut in half and thrown in a fucking pit on Naboo. Oh, hold on. This is actually Dooku glazing. Because if you weren't a main character in Star Wars, you were going to get your ass whooped by him. You were getting your ass whooped. Aside from Savage Opress for like 2 seconds. Unless you were Savage Opress for like 2 seconds. If you were not main character, Dooku was beating your ass. This is even more established in the Plagueis novels, because Plagueis himself stated Dooku had more potential than him. Had a greater overall force potential than him. And he was damn near 900 plus years of rule of 2. So the Dooku power level scaling is fucking crazy. It's fucking crazy. And Dooku could have backdoored Sidious whenever. He could have backdoored him at any moment. He could have gone rogue. Sidious is probably going to shit himself if he actually went rogue. Because he would have no way of actually, like, fixing it. Because the clone... For those of you who actually don't watch the fucking prequels, I don't know if you... I don't know how you're watching this if you didn't. The whole Clone Wars was a psyop by Sidious to essentially become Emperor. That was essentially it. And get rid of all the Jedi. That was really it. Because the Jedi were the he was already Emperor, essentially. Like, at the end of Phantom Menace, he was essentially the Emperor. It was solidified in Attack of the Clones. He was an Emperor, everything but name. Alright? So the Dooku scaling is crazy. Mace Windu is relative to Dooku. For some fucking reason. And because... How am I going to describe this shit? Windu was essentially a yes man, and Dooku actually like had his own thoughts. And he was like, yo, this is fucked up. His anger, what's the word for this? Altruism? Ulterior. How the fuck do you say that? Whatever that word is. His anger came from I can't pronounce it. I have to like make it like the title of this video or something. I don't know. I genuinely don't know. What else? Oh, here's my initial point why people get so mad about the prequels. They say they ruined the Jedi. But you see, the Jedi lost their way for damn near 1,000+ years. It was only when Luke, the son of the Chosen One himself, decided to say, listen, you guys are on bullshit. We have to help these people. We have to see the good in all people. A good example of this, actually, is in Attack of the Clones, where Obi-Wan gets captured by Count Dooku. And Dooku flat out tells him everything. Flat out tells him everything. But Obi-Wan perceives this as a deceit. And he's like, you're full of bullshit. This is bullshit. And Dooku's looking at him like, Qui-Gon, I need Qui-Gon right now, bro. He was the only one that would listen. Obi-Wan looked at him straight like this, like, Qui-Gon would never join you. And then Dooku looks up and he's like, you didn't know your master at all, did you? Oh wow. He didn't want him to join him. He wanted him to listen to him. Obi-Wan was not having any of that shit. The whole thing could have been avoided right then and there. But I'm about to say some controversial shit. Star Wars community. Obi-Wan's a bum. Obi-Wan's a straight up bum. He's a dogmatic lapdog to the fucking Jedi Order, bro. And he was tasked. Actually, the whole fumbling of that Jedi Order could have been solely on him, realistically. Because let's get this straight. Your master is realistically the only real Jedi left. Alright? This is why Sidious is a complete fucking evil mastermind. Because all of his moves are multi-layered 4D chess moves. By killing Qui-Gon, by having Maul kill Qui-Gon, I'm sorry, let's be... A couple things happen. One, he gets rid of the only actual Jedi in the galaxy at the moment. Because everyone else is dogmatic bums. Two, he deprives Anakin of a father, so he's able to replace him as a father figure. Three, fully convert Dooku, like 90-10 Dooku to the dark side, off the grief he got of losing Qui-Gon. Like, there's layers to this shit. There's layers to this shit. The fact that Palpatine took over the entire galaxy legally? I mean, realistically, legally. Because he was Chancellor way before he became Emperor. He was Chancellor for, like, what, 13 years? Before he actually became Emperor? He was essentially an Emperor in everything but name. Because the corruption in the Senate literally bungled everything. And the Jedi were just obligated to the Senate. Whatever they thought the Senate said was right. It was like the actual way. So basically the Jedi in the prequels were a bunch of bought out bums. And then Luke, the GOAT, the actual GOAT, was like, you guys are a bunch of bums. We gotta go back to our old ways. He literally saw good in like one of the most evil beings like ever. He found good in him, and he was right. He was actually right. He did it. The Last Jedi is a double entendre. It's Luke and Anakin. Because Anakin dies, leaving Luke as the actual Last Jedi. I think Return of the Jedi is peak. There's a lot of flack for it because about the teddy bears. Palpatine getting bored as fuck. She's like, you know what? I'm just gonna hang out on the Death Star. Fuck it. I'm just gonna hang out on the Death Star. And my entire empire relies on me. But you know what? I'm bored. I haven't fought anyone in like 19 years. So let's get it. He was essentially there to rage bait. Essentially, he was there to rage bait. And in the OG trilogy, so let's take a look at this actually. In Empire Strikes Back, in Return of the Jedi, Yoda and Obi-Wan essentially set Luke up for an assassination mission. That's not exactly peacekeeper. Alright? That's not exactly, you know, ultra... I can't say that word. You know what? If you know what I'm talking about, I don't know what... I can't even... Wow, I can't even say it. I truly can't. I'm really trying to say this. Ultra... Wow. I have to spell this shit. Is there a pen anywhere? How do you even spell this? My handwriting is garbage. This. Oh shit. You just gotta read that backwards. I don't know how to say that shit. I don't know how to say that shit. And the fact, don't even get me started on the sequels. They don't exist. They don't exist. Revenge of the Jedi. Revenge of the Jedi is the end. It's copium. Vast amounts of copium because they were so garbage. They did him so wrong. He is the embodiment of hope. Like the actual embodiment. They fumbled him so bad, man. Fuck you, Rian Johnson, and all of Disney. You're a bunch of greedy bums. Fucking Luke Skywalker like that. Oh, man. Fuck, man. So by Luke rejecting Obi-Wan and Yoda's, like, listen, you gotta go assassinate the Emperor and Darth Vader, and he's like, yo, bro, this is not the Jedi way. And they're literally like, then we lost. The Emperor's won already. We can't win. It's GG, go next. And Luke proved them both wrong and redeemed Anakin. Crack. It was so awesome. Excuse me. What else do I really gotta say? Ahsoka should have died in Rebels. I'm sorry. She should have died to Vader on Malachor. The fact, I think I said this in my first video. The fact that Dave Filoni introduced time travel to bring back his OC and have his OC hang out with Luke the Goat himself. Come on, bro. That's outrageous. What's funny is Ahsoka's actually older than Luke. So technically Ahsoka is his senior. I don't really know what else to say. I don't know when the numbers video is gonna drop. This shit is... It's gonna be like... It's gonna have to be at least an hour-long video. I don't know. I don't know how I'm gonna manage this shit. I think I got everything I gotta say. So I'm just gonna see you on the next video, alright? Toodles. Have a good day.